Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing Nyx, because I haven't actually covered her since Season 6 came out. I covered her on the PTS, and I guess I've been too excited to try out the other balance changes, and I haven't really gotten to this tank yet. And I've played her now a little bit. I've gotten her up to level 8, so we're going to be playing with the root talent today, and I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Nyx in her current state on release, now that she is a lot more, I guess, finished than she was on the PTS, because, of course, on the PTS, she was very, very buggy. And I guess I'll also maybe talk about how she's been compared to Ramattra a lot as of late, because that's been a thing that's kind of been blowing up, which is a bit frustrating, and yeah, hopefully should be another fun video. So we are once again on Outpost Payload. We have double tank, oh, the privilege, and we have a Dombamane who's also using the Atlas title. Is that a Giga Chad I sense? Maybe. Enemy team also has, wow, that is a stupendously high-level Geno, stupendously high-level Betty, stupendously high-level Maeve. But they only have a ROM solo tank, so this should be pretty interesting, I guess. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab Subjugation, which I think is Nyx's best talent. Abyssal Breach certainly has its benefits with that 10% weapon damage amp, but I feel like it's just a bit too kind of awkward to use, because you have to actually force the enemies to walk through your shield. You either have to use it as like a shield for its protection, or you have to use it as like some sort of offensive tool, and then you kind of lose a little bit of the value of the shield. It's very weird. And then Show of Force, I feel like it's just really, really niche. You can only really use it on certain maps if you want to try and throw people off the map and get environmental kills, and otherwise I feel like it actually inhibits how effective the Rift Slash is, because the Rift Slash is supposed to slow people, but then it also knocks them away. It's just really weird. So let's grab that. I'm going to try an Aura build, which has extra radius, extra damage, and just a little bit of health and other things. Let's grab that. Let's grab some Chronos. I am late to the fight. Oh, no. Let's start pushing this payload here. We're going to get a wall down, and, hey, buddy. And, yeah, I kind of want to just talk about, first of all, I really appreciate how Nyx has kind of been fixed from how she was on the PTS. Even right there, you could see the aura there was actually bigger, because I am running the Radius card at level 5. That wasn't working on the PTS. Her ultimate now works and stuns properly. I've managed to get quite nasty stuns with it, actually. She feels a lot better. I've still noticed sometimes she has a bit of a weird no-regging issue, and we were even able to actually witness that in her champion, I guess, showcase video that they published on the Paladins channel. So she's still not perfect, but she's certainly a lot better than she was on the PTS. And I feel like she's actually shaped up to be a pretty reasonable tank. I don't feel like she's overly underwhelming. She certainly does not have the best damage, alright? I am the first to admit that. I even made a whole video with a very controversial thumbnail on it, about her damage, which, of course, that's been buffed since the BTS, but it's still on the low side. But, yeah, I don't feel like she's bad. I don't feel like she's super overpowered either, and I am very, very grateful for that. Because if you remember, the last tank we had, added to the realm, the previous new tank, was Azan. And he, to this day, is still the most overpowered champion they have ever released, on release, period. He takes the cake. Nobody destroyed the game as hard as he did on release, in terms of being just insanely overtuned. And luckily Azan is in a much, much better state now. I actually really quite enjoy Azan, the way he currently is. And yeah, Nyx, I mean, the big fear was that, hey, we're going to get another tank, and she's going to be another game-breaking tank who's just absolutely busted, but she's not, which is really, really nice. She's a very crowd control heavy tank, kind of like Azan, or excuse me, not Azan, Atlas. Gosh, I'm making the same mistake Evil Mojo did. If you know, you know. But she's another crowd control heavy tank like Atlas, like Ashe, and even, you know, kind of like a Nara to an extent. If you go Treacherous Ground, of course. And so, yeah, that's quite actually cool. It has this counterplay, of course, with Rezil with crowd control immune abilities, and it allows Nyx to be kind of more of a team player than Azan is. With Azan, you just go in and you do your own thing. You're just a monster. You destroy everything. But with Nyx, it's like, okay, I'm going to have to slow this person. I'm going to have to root them. I'm going to have to set up all these plays for my team. I'm going to shield them, and together we will take them down. And I like that sort of approach to a tank. Not all tank has to be like that, nor does every tank have to be like, oh, I'm just this super dominant, large DPS machine like Ruckus. It's nice to just have, you know, variety like that. But yeah, I do also want to kind of talk about, like, the comparisons with Ramattra. I, of course, actually did make comparisons to Ramattra when I was watching the initial kind of teaser on their stream, and also when I was testing her for the first time on the PTS. But now that she's had time to really, you know, first of all, A, be finished, and B, you know, be played a bit more, she really doesn't feel all that similar to Ramattra. Visually, they share some similar components. You know, they both punch, and they have purple effects on said punch. They both have a ranged deploy shield. They both have an aura, right? That does damage. Oh god, I'm no-rigging on an illusion right now, by the way. And yeah, they just have those similarities, but when you actually sit down and compare the gameplay, oh my god, I'm getting farmed right now. Hold on. Let's maybe focus on the game for a second here. Let's get an aura up. Throw this down. I am gonna die, so let's use this to cleanse the corrupted blood effect. I might still die here, but we can get a kill there. I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna get a shield down as well. I'm scared. There's a maze behind us. Okay. But yeah, when you really sit down and actually play both characters, as I have, I've played Ramattra in Overwatch, I've played Nyx now in Paladins, they don't play the same. Ramattra is like, you know, he still has sort of those team-based elements of like, oh, I've got this shield I can protect my team with, and oh, I've got this crowd control ability that can help set up kills. But he's really a lot more of just like a big, beefy damage machine. You know, when you pop that punch stance, which, by the way, that's one of the first major differences, is like, Ramatra's not punching people all the time. But when you punch that, when you pop that punch stance, you go to town. You are, like, absolutely destroying people if they dare get close to you. Like, he does so much damage. And, oh my god, no reg to the illusion again, please. But yeah, he does so much damage with the punches. Whereas Nyx, when she's actually, please hit the illusion! Please hit the illusion! When she's actually able to hit her opponents, she doesn't do a lot of damage. So that's like, you know, difference number one. The damage difference and also the fact that, like, Ramatra's not even punching all the time. And also Ramattra doesn't have a combo with his punch, he's literally just, the same punch over and over again. But B, the shield has some extra mechanics. Obviously, Nyx with the talent can use her shield not as a shield, but instead as an ability to apply a damage debuff to the enemies, which is certainly something unique. And also, her shield loses health the farther away you deploy it, so while Ramattra can just deploy a shield willy-nilly wherever he wants, Nyx has to think a bit more about, you know, how far away she wants to put it. And then getting away from that, the differences just become more and more apparent. I mean, oh please, she's so low. Okay. The differences become more and more apparent. Their auras do completely different things. Ramatra's aura is his ultimate. It does damage, and it basically, as long as someone is taking damage, it extends the duration of the aura, and thus also extends the duration by which he can punch more people. So it's a damage-dealing tool, and that's basically it. I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna try and live here. We're gonna stun, I'm gonna get this down. Ying is ulting. I'm not gonna be able to kill anything here, the goal is just to stay alive. Oh god. I think we'll actually be okay here. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, Nyx's aura, it does damage, technically speaking. But you can see I'm using a max damage build here on the aura. It's doing 7 damage to Jitters. It's doing nothing. Like, it does not do damage. But it has this whole other completely unique effect, which doesn't even exist in Overwatch. If anything, it's more similar to Path of Exile, right? Path of Exile has this ability called Petrified Blood. And what it does is it makes it so that if you take a burst of damage on your health bar, it'll be applied to you over time. And in Path of Exile, there's also all these other effects of like, oh, you can only heal back with flasks, etc. But the main thing is, it takes a burst of damage and it spreads it out over time. That's exactly what Nyx's aura does. And that's not even the aura itself, that's just the ability. They don't have to be inside the aura to do that. That's just innately how it works. And so, yeah, that's completely and utterly different to Ramattra. Hers is a defensive ability more so than it is an offensive ability. Or, if it is an offensive ability, it's one that lets you play more aggressively by being able to take more damage. It's not one that increases your damage or anything like that. And then, yeah, her slow, I think comparing that to Ramatra's little circle thing is a very big stretch. Because Ramatra's circle, first of all, the way you throw it out is different. Second of all, it pulls people to the ground. Whereas Nyx's, you know, you have to charge it up to throw it farther and make it do more damage. It has an initial explosion, which does a lot of damage, relatively speaking. And it can also knock people away with the talent. I feel like they're just totally different, especially like even the way you throw them. Like, it's just, they're really not the same. And then Nyx's ultimate is completely different to Ramattra, obviously. Like, it's not even in the same ballpark. If anything, it's more closer to Orisa, but even still, it just works in a different way. Like, Nyx's ultimate, like, it has a 3-phase, like, pull-in mechanic, where each phase does incrementally more damage, and then it stuns at the end of it. And also, it has a combination with her ability, by the way. where if you... Oh god, I'm gonna die. Yeah. If you have, like, let's say 2,000 damage sustained by your Royal Presence, right? The ability that makes you take damage over time. If you ult, it'll cleanse all that. It'll basically cleanse all that, and you'll still have, like, 4,000 health or whatever you had. You just won't take that damage, and so you can use it not just as an ability to, like, maybe suck people in and stun them if you want, but you can also just use it as a survivability tool. It's actually quite versatile. So, I really think that these Ramattra comparisons are like, yes, they kind of make sense on face value, but if you actually sit down and play the characters, they're not really at all that, like, super similar. Like, yes, they share some common visuals, but, like, just feeling them in terms of the actual gameplay, they don't feel that similar. And also, like, I think it's quite funny how, you know, Overwatch can take, like, all these things from Paladins, right? They went free to play, they added a battle pass, they added a title, none of which is original, by the way, to Paladins, obviously. But, like, you know, nobody bats an eye. And then, you know, they add a character who happens to have a Kitsune, and that's the only similarity to Paladins, is that, you know, Kiriko and Io both have, like, this blue fox. And it's like, oh, okay, that's lighthearted, I bet they'd be friends. But then as soon as Paladins adds a character who, you know, at face value, visually, is similar to Ramattra in terms of her abilities, Overwatch fans just start going crazy. And also, not to mention, how many characters do we have now in Paladins that are nothing like what we have in Overwatch? There's a lot. I mean, if we just go back to the past releases, you know, last year alone. Let's see. Okay, Betty, similar to Junkrat. Okay, we can kind of, you know, maybe say that's somewhat similar to an Overwatch thing. Lilith? Huh? Is there anything like Lilith in Overwatch? I don't think so. As a matter of fact, there's not anything like Maldamba nor Grok in Overwatch. All three of those characters that I just mentioned share one thing in common. They're an area healer who places stuff on the ground, like a little circle, to heal their team. Technically, that exists in Overwatch in the form of Soldier, but he's not a healer. Like, come on. Calling a soldier a healer is like, I don't know, calling Sky good. Like, it's just, no, that's not true. Yeah, we don't have anyone like Grok, we don't have anyone like Lilith who can, like, range deploy this circle that you have to stand inside to heal. Like, that's not existent. It doesn't exist. And then Caspian. Do we have anything like Caspian in Overwatch? No? That doesn't seem like it at all, actually. No, there's not. Well, what about Seven? I mean, should Overwatch have someone like Seven? Probably not. Should Paladins have Seven? I don't know. But the point is, nothing like Seven in Overwatch. And we can keep going on and on for quite a while. And so, like, we have one character who releases now that's somewhat similar. It's like, oh. Everyone starts freaking out. Like, I don't get it. At the end of the day, though, I don't want to be, like, you know, being like this bad person who's like, oh, I want to just accuse all these games of stealing characters and stuff and flaming all the games. No, I enjoy both games. Neither game is perfect. Overwatch certainly isn't perfect right now. Paladins certainly had a very rough launch of this patch. I just think we should, you know, quit this petty nonsense and just like, oh, let's enjoy these games. We all like hero shooters. Some of us like Overwatch, some of us like Paladins, some of us like both. Why not just enjoy what we want to enjoy, you know? You can play both games. They both have very different things to offer at this stage in their development. Why not just do that, you know? That's all I really am asking at the end of the day. But yeah, a long-winded rant over. I just kind of wanted to address that because, I don't know, I figured it'd be an interesting topic to cover, and also I want to just share my 2 cents on that. Getting back to this Nyx gameplay, I guess I should probably focus on that. It's so cool watching this purple aura be so huge. I really like that. I like this build just for the sake of having a bigger aura, honestly. I don't know how practical necessarily it is. I know a very popular card for Nyx is the one that increases the range on her punches, where you can get the bonus damage. And I think that one certainly is very good. In fact, I am using it in this build at a lower level. Can we stun her here? Oh, we can. Can we kill her? Oh, heck yeah, nice. Yeah, I do have a build like that with that, I think 4 or 5. And that's certainly a very good card to have. And yeah, I ultimately don't know what, like, the ultra uber meta build is apart from that. Like, in that build I also have just health and, like, quote reduction on the right click, stuff like that. but I'm sure we'll see in the coming days. Also, I want to kind of say, like, did you guys know there was a double XP weekend this weekend? Like, last weekend, I mean. Like, it already happened, it's gone, it's done. I had no idea. I didn't see a post about it on Twitter. I didn't see a post about it on the website. In fact, I double-checked the website after I heard there was a double XP weekend. I was like, oh crap, wait, what? I totally missed it. Like, they absolutely snuck that under our radar, but apparently some people already have golden nicks. And, yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense there was a double XP weekend, right? But, like, how did people even figure out about that? Did they just look at their XP and be like, oh crap, it's higher now, I guess I should grind nicks? They're already planning to do that regardless of double XP? I don't know, but I totally missed that. I might have grinded nicks if I knew that was the case. Honestly, like the first few days of the patch, though, I did not feel like playing this character at all. I am having a little bit more fun on her now. But yeah, I just really didn't feel like covering her a few days ago. So, yeah, maybe I would have postponed it anyways. Honestly, I am feeling a bit tired of getting every champion to level 50. Like, I feel like I've proved my point, you know? I got every champion to 50 for such a long time. Every time a new character would come out, we would do a series of live streams. And it's been that way for, actually, at this point, I think, years. Like, it's been a while. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if adding another one to the collection is worth it, but who knows? Maybe I'll do it anyways. Looking at the stats here, we ended up getting 10 kills. A lot of people getting 10 kills this match. 10 from me, 10 from Sha, 10 from Tyra, 10 from Betty, and 10 from Maeve. And then 0 kills from the rest of the team. That sure is a shocker. We got top damage, not quite in the lobby, but top damage on the team, which is certainly surprising given that this character doesn't really feel like she does a lot of damage. She has the no-reg issue where sometimes you just straight up won't do damage. And then when you do hit, it's not like her hits are that devious. But I think it's one of those things where, like, over time, you're just pumping out so much damage through the fight. I mean, you never have to reload. Your crowd control effects also apply damage. You have this poison aura, which does actually do damage. It's just really slow. You have all this stuff that accumulates over time. And eventually, at the end stat screen here, you're like, oh, wow, I actually did some damage. Personally, I think her damage is in a really good spot right now. I don't think it's too low. And I don't think it really, like, you know, I don't think it's too high either. I feel like it's in a pretty decent spot. Like, I'm actually quite impressed with how balanced of a character they were able to make this time around. Obviously, she's not perfect. No character is, except Maldamba. But, heck, even Maldamba's not perfect. But, like, yeah, I mean, she's not game-breaking like Seven or Zahn. She's not super-duper underwhelming. Well, I think she's in a pretty decent spot. But let me know, of course, what you think in the comment section down below about Nyx, about the comparisons with Overwatch, about all of it, because I would love to hear from you guys. So, yeah, let me know what you think. And also, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload from me. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitch and Discord, both of which are linked in the description down below. And if you want to buy crystals to buy, not the season pass. Keep having to remind myself, oh, I can't say that anymore. But yeah, if you want to buy crystals to buy any of these wonderful chests or things, I guess, in the updated store UI section thingy, then do that at my Nexus, nexus.gg/AndrewChicken. You can buy crystals and support me in the process. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.